Okay, we're live.
Oh, welcome everybody. This is the Mischief podcast with our meat and your boy Piece of Tape.
Yeah, what's up? We're gonna be talking about nostalgia today, which I know everybody has like nostalgia for the '90s, but we're talking like 2000s nostalgia because we're like not '90s kids. But
The
before
best
we do any of
nostalgia.
that,
We are 90s
we
kids.
have a prompt.
We're not 2000s kids.
We technically are.
We're 90s kids.
I mean, I guess so.
90s babies.
I guess we were born in the '90s. I don't know if that counts. Okay, but we have a
enough.
prompt. We have a prompt we're going to start off with. So if anybody was like grew up in the 2000s, you probably remember the show Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Ned's Declassified
freaking
School
great.
Best Show Guide.
Yeah, it was like such a good show. So there was like three main characters: Ned Bigsby, who was a nerd.
Bigsby.
Is it
Pretty sure it's just Big B.
Yeah, it might just be Bigby. There was Cookie, who's the like stereotypical black
The
nerd.
Bigsby.
I know that sounds wrong, but like they just put him in there as a token black character, and I felt kind of offended. But
You felt offended.
no, not
Wait.
really.
Cookie was,
Cookie was like a really nerdy kid. Like
but he was amazing.
he was amazing, but he was like a fucking.
He was on
nerd.
another level.
He was just like he was like the cool nerd, not the like nerd. And then there was what was her name? Jennifer Mosby. I know she goes
Yeah.
by Mose.
It was either Mosley or I think it was Mosley.
Yeah, it's Mosley.
Because it can't be too close to Big B.
Yeah, and she was the love interest of no, I'm not gonna spoil it, but she was
Boil a show that's like 20 years. No, it's
Yeah.
like 15. I don't know.
Okay,
When did
she
it
ends
come
up
out?
being the love interest of Ned, but
When did-
beforehand she was not. She was like his best friend and stuff. And okay, well I'm getting off track, but anyways, I had an idea the other day that's pretty great.
I guess you're right. She wasn't the love interest at first.
No, she wasn't. This idea it's prime. It's total prime. Okay, so it's a reboot of Ned's Declassified called Ned's Declassified Adulting Survival Guide. It stars Ryan Reynolds as Ned Bigsby, Terry Crews as Cookie, and I haven't figured out anybody from O's yet. So basically, Ryan Reynolds as Ned. He's
Danny
not
DeVito.
Danny DeVito can be Mosley.
He's gonna be Mosley.
Yeah.
It's perfect because he's so tall.
Yes.
2004.
Oh my gosh.
2004 came out.
Well. But Ned is an
So
alcoholic writer.
4 years ago.
Yeah, Ned is an alcoholic writer, and he makes his living at writing like really shitty articles for BuzzFeed.
Oh jeez.
He's like a total alcoholic. Cookie he's like a multimillionaire because he invented a AI that generates hentai, and he sold it on the internet. And he's like a
Don't you
millionaire.
mean art?
Yeah. He sees it as art.
In
not
the
everybody else
wise words
agrees.
of Stan Lee from The Office, it is art.
Yeah, sure. And Mose, she's not lesbian, but she is like the stereotypical butch, and she's a construction worker. But for some reason, she's not lesbian. She's still married to Ned for some reason. A guy she met in middle
Wait,
school.
a woman can't be manly.
I mean, it's just a stereotype. It's, because it's a TV show. You gotta have stereotypes, even if they're offensive. Okay, maybe that's not a good idea, but still. Yeah, so
Can
and then,
Cookie be Cookie? Yeah. Can Cookie be cyborg? Like our
yes,
version
he
of
has
a cyborg.
He has a cybernetic arm now.
Good.
Because he lost his arm in a fapping accident.
Cyborg's my favorite character from.
And then you remember the janitor Gordy?
One of my favorite from the DC
Do you remember the
universe.
janitor Gordy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Gordy is in
Is
prison.
he married to a weasel now?
No. Okay. Yes, he is. He's married to the weasel.
Oh, I know.
Gordy is
He
in
became a
prison.
furry.
Yes.
And his whole thing is that he's a weasel.
Yeah.
He fell in love.
I was gonna say he got arrested because
That's what happened in the show, right? He didn't fall in love with the weasel.
I think he
but
did at the end.
he,
I think
like-
he
he, like,
married
in
it.
the
I
end-
think he actually married it. Yeah.
That was the conclusion.
Yeah, but so he gets arrested because he got high on meth and burned down the school.
Burned down the school.
While he was high on meth. And Gordy's like completely insane now, and like they visit him in prison. And he gives them really good life advice, like steal shit, light shit on fire.
Don't do meth.
Nah, he's still insane. He still does meth in prison for some reason.
What happened to that guy? I wonder if he went on to bigger and better things.
Probably not. No one from that show did.
No one did.
I mean, they were all
unfortunately.
like B-listers. I'm sorry, but which is
So
why it's
happens-
kind of
so
weird to
happens
make a
Nickelodeon stars.
yeah. I mean, except for Josh, whatever his name is, Josh Peck. He's bae.
He tried. He the reason he succeeded was because he gave himself a social media presence. He was smart about it.
Then there's Drake.
He kind of fell off the face of the earth.
He came back. They had a video together not too long ago. It's like where they were like revealing them past
the only other thing.
selves.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but
Yeah, I got bored.
the only thing I remember Drake being a part of before that was some diving competition show. It's like Dancing with the Stars, but it's diving with like divers.
I remember the Fairly Odd Parents live action movies.
Oh yeah.
You know,
but those were like way before.
Speaking of nostalgia, that's something I don't like to look back on.
was that where Professor Gordon, Janitor Gordon, went? He went on to be Timmy's dad in the live action movies.
Wait, really?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It might be. There's a very good possibility that was him.
And I don't know. Gordy was like, I don't know. I liked Gordy. He was just like the cool uncle stereotype. You know, it's like you probably wouldn't trust him with your kids.
He was
but
definitely
your kids like him.
He was definitely one of the better characters. What was the what are the bullies doing? So one guy's like sewing.
Yeah, well,
curly haired dude.
He became a fashion designer.
Really? Followed his dreams. Good for him.
Yeah, he followed his dreams and became
Good
a
for
fashion
him.
designer. He's like really rich
Is he
now.
still like? I can imagine he's like, he's got his fashion line, but every time anybody wants to interview him or get an autograph, he denies everything.
Yes.
And he pleads ignorance, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. This isn't me. This isn't my clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. I'm sewing. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just here to boo. Fashion sucks. Manly stuff.
And then there's the other bully, like the main bully. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
He ended up with Susie or whatever Ned's Crushers, and they live in a trailer park now, and he's part of Trailer Park Boys.
For some reason, I can't. Oh no, yeah, I just got it. I was gonna say I can't remember Susie. It's Susie, right? Yeah,
Susie
but
Crabgrass.
I couldn't remember her, but now I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mose had that South American guy, South American hunk dude. Who
I
was
don't
like,
remember him.
He was like Fabio or something like that.
He like spoke a different language and he had an accent.
He had an accent. Yeah, I think he spoke Spanish or Portuguese.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to him.
I don't remember.
He's a male.
I don't know.
Now.
He's a soccer player because all South Americans become soccer players.
Yes.
He went on to win the cup from Germany.
Coconut Head. He still looks like shit. He doesn't have a coconut head haircut.
He moved to Hawaii. He moved to Hawaii and he spends his days hanging from trees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all he does.
He's a fucking monkey now. He evolved into a monkey.
He evolved into a Mankey, a Coca Mankey.
I don't know what that is.
Mankey, a Pokemon.
Oh.
Come on, you're the Pokemon expert here.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Mankey's a Pokemon.
Like,
honestly, whenever you ask me about the monkey Pokemons, like I don't remember.
He evolves into Primeape, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of monkey Pokemon.
I mean, I know like all of the others, Chimchar and Fernape, yeah.
Chimchar and Fernape,
whatever the middle one is.
Fernape and something like Molt something.
I don't know.
But there's a like Pansage,
There's the
Pansand,
new one, Grookey.
Pansage, and
Okay.
Panseer.
So the new one,
Grookey.
that looks like a racial slur. You can't convince me that's not a racial slur of some sort.
Grookey.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad thing to say.
Grookey.
It sounds like a
Grookey
really
gang.
bad thing to say. Yeah,
You seen the Grookey gang memes?
Oh no.
Pokemon Sword, Shield, and Gun.
Oh yeah, I've
It's old
seen
news
that.
at this point, but
Oh, I love Pokemon. Like I'm so hyped for the Pokemon Switch game. I'm gonna buy it like the day it comes out.
I probably won't.
You're dead to me.
I still haven't. I bought Pokemon Omega Ruby with the DS when I got like my DS 3DS XL, and I still haven't beat it.
Well, Omega Ruby's not that great.
I still haven't beat Sun and Moon, and I got that on a release date.
Oh my god, I convinced you to buy it. You buy it, and then you never play
I never played it. I mean,
It
I
wasn't
kind
that
of
good.
want to get through it just to like I play Pokemon, but I just
Sun and Moon feels like an endless tutorial.
I don't
and I
know.
hate it.
it's just
I don't
it's
like
just
Let Go either for the same reason.
Let's Go.
Yeah, whatever you call it.
I haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's not as good.
mind-numbingly easy, apparently.
Well, yeah, I guess
Pokemon is easy, but
you gotta take it as more of a
Pokemon Go mobile. I mean, Pokemon Go on the Switch, pretty much.
Pokemon Go on the Switch, which I deleted because I realized that I was literally driving places.
Yeah, I remember
after
that one
work.
time we were in the car and
After work.
you're driving and you just look down at your phone to
Hey,
catch
man.
a Pikachu.
It's a
I thought I was
Pikachu.
gonna die. I thought I was gonna die.
We were in the median anyways.
We were gonna die.
We weren't even in the traffic. You can trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Unlike you can trust Grookey.
Grookey, yeah.
He's probably gonna shoot you.
That sounds really racist.
I like the whole fighting meme where it's like because they're like firefighting. I think at least Score Bunny is firefighting.
They haven't announced what they are yet, but I'm guessing it's gonna be.
Oh, they haven't? I think
it's gonna be Fire Battle actually, Fire Steel.
Really? There was a meme though that was like they're all like grass fighting, firefighting, water fighting. Or they actually started out as grass, water, and fire. Yeah. And then their middle evos was like grass fighting, water fighting, firefighting, and then their final evos were just like for some reason turned into fighting.
Yes.
And they just
fight you. In the Pokemon,
they just fight you.
Every time every time there's a fire starter, it's either gonna be like it's almost always.
You put it inside of some wood, and then you light it, and then it starts a fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fire starter.
You've seen that video where like Charmander, like and I think it's Squirtle are fighting, and like Squirtle pins down Charmander, and he lets out this really weird scream.
I think I have.
Was
it like 3D animated or
no?
Not?
It was an actual video from the Japanese anime.
Oh, it wasn't like a fan made thing.
It's literally the weirdest scream. It sounds like it's like screaming bloody murder, dude. It's crazy. It's hilarious.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's so good.
You know what I want to see?
What?
Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds is gonna.
See,
I mean, it's just Deadpool as a Pikachu.
It's Deadpool as Pikachu, and it's got a PG-13 rating.
Oh yeah, I heard because I saw in one of the trailers they said how, and apparently you can't say that in PG. So.
Dude, Nintendo's getting more and more hardcore.
Dude,
as time goes on. Didn't like Breath of the Wild? I think somebody, I don't know what they said, but I think one of the NPCs said "damn," and then like and then. In another Nintendo game, maybe I think it was maybe Pokemon, maybe it was like something else, but they're just breaking out the swears, man.
Yeah, they've been doing it more.
It won't be long until we hear the F word from Pikachu or something like that.
Speaking of swearing in video games, one of my favorite instances of that is Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, because they were trying to get a T rating, they had to make it just a little bit more edgier than it was. So they have like these really forced moments where Shadow says "damn," and one of them's like, "Where is that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?" It's my favorite scene of all time.
I know where the Chaos Emeralds are. Do you know where the Chaos Emeralds are?
No.
I know where the Chaos Emeralds are.
I don't know where they are. I do not know what you are implying, kind sir.
That's for me to know.
And me to find out.
And also me to not know. Because I made that up.
Oh, yeah.
I have them.
Oh, no. You ever seen that video where it's like some guy made Obama say, like, you mean the chaos symbols? You know?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so
I haven't
good.
seen that.
It's so good.
Obama says the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, it's
really
like,
good video.
He's like, Mr. President. The guy's like, Mr. President, have you heard about the stolen jewels or whatever? Like, powerful stolen jewels? He's like, and then Obama's like, Oh, you mean the chaos symbols? I happen to have one right here. And then like the crowd's like all gasping and stuff. And he's like, chaos control.
Does he make a Swiss roll?
Yes.
Just like Shadow?
Honestly, Shadow's my favorite anime girl.
Shadow's my favorite Shadow.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Since we're on the topic, Shadow the Hedgehog, it gets a lot of hate, but that wasn't that bad a game.
I haven't played it.
I played it a lot as a kid. Not a lot. Okay, I played Sonic Heroes more, and then when Shadow the Hedgehog came out... Oh, no, I played Sonic Adventure 2 the most. That game is my nostalgia game. And then Sonic Heroes
Sonic
a lot.
Adventure.
And then, I never played the first Sonic Adventure. And then when Shadow the Hedgehog came out, I'm like, oh, cool, it's a game about my favorite character. And even as a kid, I'm like, this is a little bit weird. I don't know why, I just don't like it.
I haven't played a lot of Sonic. I played Rush,
Yeah, that's not bad.
and then
game.
Rush Adventure.
Not bad.
So, not your typical
Yeah.
Sonic games, but they were fun. I also played Sonic Unleashed on the Wii,
Yeah, I never played that
which was also well made.
one. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I mean,
the newer Sonic games get a lot of crap, but like that era of games wasn't that bad.
yeah, I mean, it's better than some things that have been produced by Sega.
I mean, we talked about it in the previous episode. Sonic Forces was a pile of garbage, so
Yeah,
not that I ever played it.
I mean, there's the obvious ones like
Sonic 06.
Sonic 06.
Sonic 06. You know, Sonic 06 would have been an amazing game if A, they didn't make him romance the human, and B, they actually made the game correctly.
they actually made a game.
Yeah, because like I never got past the first level because it kept glitching out on me. I'm like, you know, I'm not bothering my time with those.
I think I've attempted that game maybe twice or 3 times and gotten to the whale.
Yeah, the whale.
And that was it.
I get past the whale, and then there's this section where you have to run at like supersonic speeds, and
Supersonic speeds.
yes, I know. And
Never would have guessed.
if you're like running really fast, but if you like hit anything, the character just flies into the space, and it just
Yep.
doesn't work.
Sounds about right. Don't you know Sonic's new power, fly into space power?
Yes.
He can run faster than a speeding bullet, be a hedgehog, and fly into space.
Honestly, he devoured Tails to get Tails powers. He ate Tails.
Well, Tails never dies.
Not yet. Hopefully, he does soon.
You can, every time he just comes back, he's immortal.
Oh no.
Like that Thorkley
No.
video.
You know, honestly, I liked Tails as a kid, but as an adult, I get annoyed by him really easily.
Tails. Like, have you ever watched any of the Sonic Boom? I really haven't. But,
Sonic Boom, the what?
the newest TV show.
Oh yeah, I've watched clips of it, and they're like hilariously self-aware.
They are very self-aware, which I think is like the only route Sonic can take at this point.
Yeah, because honestly, Sonic is such a meme that you can't. If you take it too seriously, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know who's watching that show. I mean, I guess hopefully
Christian.
kids are like
I love
discovering
how they
it.
had the episode on Christian. Like they had that one guy was like
Chris Chan.
like he literally had the Christian glasses and talked like him. I'm like, oh no.
Wait, what?
There was an episode where they had this aardvark thing who held Sonic and his friends hostage.
Oh,
because he was the
no.
@1 fan.
Oh,
And it literally looked
yeah,
like Christian.
yeah.
I mean, not the new Christian, the
Jeez.
old Christian. I'm like,
Yeah.
they just roasted him.
The not so mentally unstable Christian.
I mean, he's always been mentally unstable.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more now.
What about now with the dimensional merge?
Oh yeah, so we did talk about Christian before.
But there's new.
Yeah,
There's news.
info on this
There's new
man.
information.
So
come to
some
light.
people on Kiwi Farms, you know, the trolling website that's obsessed with him, they managed to trick him into believing that he is a goddess who is destined to bring our dimension and the dimension of original characters together. And
So that he can finally be with Sonichu.
and for some
Does it
reason,
be with? Does
she's in a relationship with. He's in a relationship
he,
with,
she, whatever you want to say,
with Mewtwo. That's his boyfriend
Christine?
right now.
Really?
Yes, she's in a relationship.
He doesn't want
and
to
she
be
got-
with Sonichu.
No, for some reason Sonichu's like his kid, even though it's not.
I probably asked this before, but like, have you ever heard of that fanfic?
Sonic and Pikachu.
Sonic and Pikachu?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Like, that wasn't him, was it?
No, that's not even him. I don't.
Was
know
that
if
made
it's him.
before he made Sonichu?
You know, honestly, I think it did, but he never knew about it.
Do you think he never knew about it?
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past him
Because
if I found it.
because it would be quite the scandal if he just kind of like, his whole life work is Sonichu.
I mean, it
that's
already
his
is
whole-
a scandal.
That's
He
you're
already
right.
ripped it off.
Yeah, what am I talking about? You're right. It's oh boy, it sure would be bad if he took these already 2 licensed characters and took the idea from some other guy that already put them together. not the fact that they're already actually trademark characters or anything. No, just because he stole the idea of putting them together,
Yes.
but in a less
man.
grotesque way.
Honestly,
Don't look up the fan fiction.
honestly, Chris Chan, he's done some grotesque
look
things.
up.
I mean, the one girl, he had this one friend named Megan something, And she was the only real friend he had. And you know why she cut him off? Because he drew nudes of her and put them on the internet.
My gosh.
He also, my other favorite one is when he hit Michael Snyder, the gameplay owner, with a truck.
With a truck?
With a car, I mean. He was driving his car and you hit him, and then his mom was encouraging the whole thing. Barb was encouraging the whole thing.
Barb.
This is the whole
Why?
thing. Because she didn't like him, because he banned Chris from the gameplay because Chris was being a creep.
Who's the guy he spray painted? Who's the guy he pepper sprayed?
That was GameStop. That was way after this.
Oh, it was after that.
That's more recent. Don't call anyone.
Don't call any. And then the convention center breakdown.
Oh no.
Giving people. I watched the video of the guy who got kissed by Chris Chan.
Yeah, I watched that. I mean,
my gosh.
I would be kind of creeped out. I would
be.
honestly feel violated if Chris touched me in any way.
I think you'd feel stimulated.
Shut up.
I think you like Chris Chan.
Honestly, here's a real question. If any of you viewers actually
dodging the question.
If there's any viewers here, does anybody find Chris?
If there's any viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's
the
any
one
viewers,
person listening.
Hello me
in the future.
Do you find Chris Chan any sort of attractive? Is there any way you can find that man attractive?
Or I guess woman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I would say no.
If you
even
think
if he
that
was
way.
skinny, it's just he's disgusting. He doesn't shower. He's like, because that's everyone who's met him said he doesn't shower.
Yeah.
He
he
has this odor about him that just I can't smell, but he has this odor about him that just makes you want to barf.
That would.
And he's all touchy with everybody.
Yeah. You can hardly blame him though, because.
I mean, his mental state's not where it should be.
Mental state is not. Yeah, for sure.
And I kind of feel like he needs to get the help he needs, but it's just not going to happen.
I feel like he's there enough to know what he's doing. And,
yeah, that's the sad thing, is he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's convinced that, it's not his fault, so he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
And it's
doesn't help that the internet.
Yeah, like the people buy his shit just so he can keep living like he does. People are literally funding this shit show. Like if people
How much did he sell what did he sell?
Like he sells just random items, and he sold his stuff for like thousands of dollars before.
What the heck?
Chris Chan memorabilia. People have spent over $1,000 on it.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, exactly. People are paying just because A, they feel bad for him, and B, some of them want to see the mess continue. I think
I guess so.
I think the best thing for Chris would be for the state to intervene. I'm not even lying. Like, if they would just come in and, maybe not take him to a home, but set him up with a therapist who gets his life together, Because Barb's going to die soon, and that's going to be a mess.
Well, the people that egg him on are the same people that profit from talking about him.
I mean, not always.
I mean, they don't make a lot of money. It's a lot of,
they just get attention. But the thing that's kind of interesting is that some of the trolls on Kiwi farms are trying to help him now. They're trying to make him so he doesn't get trolled. And he just doesn't take their advice. Because in order to get close to Chris, you have to buy into his delusions. Like, the people, he wouldn't talk to them until they admitted that they heard his imaginary friend Magic-chan. So then what they started doing was, like, once they got in with him, they started, saying Magic-chan said to clean your room. So he would start doing stuff, that's good for him. And then they let him have his social media. They let him into his social media account so they could block people who were trolling him. But this all backfired because Chris, he realized that they were trying to help him, and he's like, "Well, I don't want help. I want to continue being a lolcow." So
a what?
There's a term.
A lolcow,
like a lolcow. LOL cow.
A lolcow. A lolcow. He wants to be a local. I thought you were saying, like, loco.
No, lolcow. Lolcow basically is just someone they can milk for entertainment.
Oh, I get you. I get your terminology.
Yeah. But
I'm down with the hip lingo.
The whole Chris Chan scenario is just really weird. I don't understand, like, how nothing has stopped it,
It's the internet. You can't stop anything on the internet.
I mean, Chris is, like, so famous, and yet somehow it just keeps happening. Stuff keeps happening. It's like, Chris doesn't back off. I mean,
it's just new things will just keep happening. The dimensional merge is not the end.
Yeah, and the other funny thing about dimensional merge is he said it was going to happen by the end of 2018. Didn't happen. So he's like, oh, just kidding. It's going to happen He hasn't said when it's gonna happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So
Just like the Mayan calendars.
yep.
They were wrong.
If there is a dimensional merge, what do I say? Of course
Which
there's not.
which original character would you want to
Cold Steel the
be
Hedgehog.
with?
Cold Steel the Hedgehog. There we go.
You would have the relations with Cold Steel.
Oh, not
the
that.
Hedgehog.
No, not those kind of relations. I just want him to be a real thing.
Impregnate him.
Yes.
Everybody gets a super pregnant.
Oh boy.
Also a Dorkly video.
And I feel like Chris honestly believes that when the dimensional merge happens, he'll still be in a relationship with Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
Which this is the thing I forgot to mention is like apparently all this comes from dreams he's having. Like all the things. I don't buy it. I think he's just has an overactive imagination.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be. Just because, like, everyone's feeding him the information. And then you dream about stuff that you're thinking about.
I just don't get how... I don't get why nobody has intervened at this point. Like, he's been believing in this since November.
You know who I want to meet?
Who?
Nipples the Enchilada.
Yes. Yes. My favorite Sonic character.
He can punch through rock with his...
rock hard fist nipples.
Or is it steel?
I don't remember what it is.
Or is it both?
He can punch through anything with his rock hard fist nipples.
It's a bit chilly out.
So the video is so good.
You know what's not good?
What? Chili dogs?
Chili dogs. You don't like chili dogs?
No, Sonic does. And Sonic's not okay.
That's no good. Sonic says chili dogs are no good. What if that happened? What if the dimensional merge happens and Sonic comes through and he's like, chili dogs. That's no good.
Everyone would just lose their mind. Sonic just like destroyed reality with one sentence.
You ever see that video of that like dude cosplaying as Sonic and he's eating a chili dog?
Oh no!
You see that?
Yes.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want that to be the actual Sonic.
Yes, me too.
I want that. Like I want to witness that man eating a chili dog.
Yes, that would. I would pay money if that would happen. Like I would like pay an admission fee just to see that.
I'd pay an admission fee of one chili dog.
Yeah, I'd just give him a chili dog. That's pretty cheap.
Then I'd eat it.
Oh no. Oh, you're being a cruel motherfucker.
So, speaking of Sega, and the constant garbage they tend to churn out.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous and hard to believe because like I mean obviously their consoles failed and
Yeah.
they half the time they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I had recently come by a video talking about like Sega versus Nintendo on the instance of like fan made games.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't like fan made games.
They do
at
not.
all.
Nintendo doesn't like
Nintendo's
a lot of
really weird.
like they don't like a lot of anything
Fan related.
like fan related like
I mean, let's
anything
think about the
fan-
reasons why. You've seen the
fans
Sonic fan
reviewing games.
base.
oh jeez. Well, I'm talking
And
about like
Bowsette.
people playing their games and uploading videos of it. People
Yeah.
making, but I get it. The whole topic was like Nintendo. They sue people who make fan games, or they'll force you to take it down.
Yeah, and like Sega works with those people, like
And
it
Sega
is-
works with them.
like in Sonic Mania, you know.
Yeah, and it's like that's the argument. It's like Nintendo, why aren't you being? Why don't you let the fans
You know, I
Make
can
fan games.
understand Nintendo's
But-
point of view, but
Oh yeah,
I don't agree with it. But
I actually would be inclined to agree because
yeah,
the whole point was if I'm gonna mention the video, I should mention the creator. It was Vito Gesualdi.
I don't know him.
He's a content creator on YouTube. Look him up.
Yeah,
And he talked about this, and the points he made I think were pretty solid. I kind of agree with what he's saying. It was the whole fact of Nintendo constantly makes like quality stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They constantly make things that make a ton of money, and there's
original.
hits.
Yeah.
And
like compared to a lot of AAA companies. They're
Sega
more solid.
churns out a bunch of garbage every other year.
Yeah,
every
much.
other installment. And so like they need all the help they can get. So they have people work for them, whatever. But the whole point is like, oh, I'm not selling the games, I'm not making money. Sure, but that you're still. What's to say like little Timmy isn't gonna just play the free mod of the game, and not buy Pokemon because the mod's better.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not even
that's a real good point.
It's not even like the mod's not better.
It's just free.
It's just, well, I mean, it could, I guess technically it's better in a sense because people are adding stuff to it that make people enjoy it.
Yeah.
But they didn't make any of it. They just like modded the game that was there. The people that they slaved away for hours designing the game, programming the game.
Okay, I'm gonna take a stance on this.
Everything.
I'm okay with modders.
Mods are fine.
They put in a lot of effort, but if I'm being honest, they don't put in as much effort as an actual game creator. And some modders like to think they put in more effort than the actual devs, but some cases that's just not true.
Yeah. Like mods are great, but like just fan game on the sense of fan games,
exactly. Well,
when you play the free fan game, you don't buy the game, and you're like they're losing, they're losing money.
I actually do agree with that because like a lot of the Nintendo fan games, I've played a few and they've all been like variable quality. And that's probably another thing. They don't want their name dragged through the mud with crappy games. I mean, like, some of these Pokemon games, they're fun, but, like, it just feels fake, I like the idea of having Pokemon fan games, but, they're just never as good as the real Pokemon. I can't figure out why. I mean,
I have an opinion on Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
I think, so Pokemon's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And it's got like a huge following, and that's great.
Yeah, it definitely does.
That's great. I have to say I'm more into like the concept of the card game and the TV show, which I don't even watch, more than the games themselves. Just because I watch more content on YouTube for like cards, and I just I don't know. Like I said, I played Pokemon Mega Ruby. I didn't even finish it, and I didn't even finish like Sun and Moon. To me, and you play more Pokemon than I do, so you can vouch for it. If you can disagree if you want, but they all pretty much seem the same.
I mean,
they're all like the same game.
They're the same formula. You are completely correct.
Yeah.
There are like, I don't know if you played Diamond and Pearl, but that one is noticeably better than at least some of the other generations. Same thing of Generation 3. But, like, and I know Gen 1 and Gen 2 get a lot of credit for being the originals, but Gen 1 really wasn't, at least Red and Blue wasn't that great. Comparing it to the other games. The remakes
just classic.
are good. Yeah, they're just classic.
It's just, like, nostalgic.
Yeah, but, like, Fire Red and Leaf Green would hold a candle to, like, the newer games, because they added all the extra content. But, like, I mean, even, like, I think my favorite generation was Gen 4, because it also included the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which my two favorite regions are Sinnoh and Johto. And the reason I like
Johto.
The reason I like Johto so much is because it was really the one that had the most content. Because they split the game up into two parts. The post game, you went back to Kanto, which is why I'd say, I mean, it's a smaller version of Kanto. That you can't go to all the towns.
You can't go.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I'd say Johto, like Silver and Gold, were more of the. Yeah, they were more of the like official first Pokemon in my mind. Red and Blue was more of like a test game to me.
Really?
Because it was glitchy as hell, and it lacks a lot of the things that make Pokemon Pokemon. Like most of the things that I consider Pokemon, like breeding that wasn't introduced till Gen 2. Most of they added a couple types in Gen 2, I forget which. And a lot of like the stat system was introduced in Gen 2. Gen 1 was basically just the original, but it really wasn't that much. And I like the game too because like this is a dumb reason to like it, but it's really glitchy. It's the most easily glitched Pokemon game. And I would say like after I would say the biggest jump in quality was Gen 2 to Gen 3.
Really?
Yeah, I mean Gen.
When did you start like? When did it go from 2D sprites to 3D? Remember?
That's Gen 7.
Oh, always 7.
Yeah, well...
It was just like... It wasn't like...
No, Gen 6, Gen 6.
6.
It's kind of interesting, like, I would say, as I said, Gen 4 is my favorite. And Gen 3 is probably close. And Gen 5 is also close. And Gen 2 was... Well, the Gen 4 remakes of Gen 2 are also some of my favorites. But what's interesting about Gen 5, which is the Unova region... is they, in theory, were supposed to be the perfect Pokemon game. They had a really nice, like, out of all the
Which
Pokemon
ones are those?
games, the Unova region, Black and White, Black and White 2. But what's kind of interesting about them is they had a really good plot for a Pokemon game. Like, if you compare all the other Pokemon games, the only one its plot comes close to being as interesting is Gen 4. And, like, they got a lot more adult-themed than that one. That one was, not like adult-themed, like sex stuff, but, like
sex stuff.
Like they're more philosophical.
Like guns and Pokemon.
They're like more philosophical in that one, and I really think yeah, well, that was a bad mispronunciation.
And
philosophical, yeah, but they're more philosophical in that one. Like they're very, like N is very like he has a lot of ideas and he has a lot of cutscenes where he gives like idealistic things about the Pokemon world. Like he talks about how Pokemon shouldn't be, how Pokemon battling is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting game. And
the main concept that like everybody thinks about when playing Pokemon and disregards.
Yeah, and that's the only game that really addressed it. And
let's make our friends literally kill each other.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting about Gen 6. I noticed, although the visuals look better, it just felt like a step down. That was where I started feeling like Pokemon was taking a step down. It really wasn't. It just felt a lot less... I can't describe
I heard, like, as the generations go on,
they've gotten
it's
more
easier and easier.
Yeah, they get more hand-holding.
And it's, they're holding your hand to, like...
The tutorials along, like... In Pokemon Gen 8, Sun and Moon, the first island is basically a giant tutorial. Like, you're on this island for, like, at least 2 to 4 hours, and it feels like one big tutorial. Like, the game doesn't feel like it starts till you get off the first island. And that's not good game design.
I don't know if I even got past first island. But wasn't the end of the game just, like, a whole, 20-minute cutscene?
This is another problem. I'm not gonna... Okay, I'm a spoiler alert. I will spoil this one.
It's Sun and Moon. It's been out. They already have the remake of it.
Yeah, when you beat the Elite Four, which it turns out to be Professor Kuklai or whatever his name is.
Kuklai.
I can't pronounce that, but basically what happens is you get back to the your first island, or the little town with where Hal and his granddad live, and there's, I shit you not, a 30-minute cutscene. So it's. For 30 minutes, it's just people talking and dancing. And, sounds
like a party.
Yeah, it's basically a 30-minute party, but it's just so obnoxious, because the animations aren't great. They don't say anything interesting. Then about, 30 minutes in, it will interrupt you, and then you go fight one of the Tapu Koko thingies, whatever you call those, the Island Guardians. And then you go back, and there's another 15-minute party cutscene.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, why? I can understand it for 5 minutes, but it went on forever, and I've never seen a Pokemon game do something like that. And this was before the credits. There was still 10 minutes of credits.
I don't even think I can think of any examples of video games going that long.
I've never seen a game do that, and I was like... it was confusing because there was no point to it. I can't figure out why they thought that was a good idea. I think they were trying to emphasize that it's a really big achievement that you won the Elite Four, but nobody wants to sit through that. They all want to get on with the post-game. That's another complaint I had about Gen 8, was the post-game. It was garbage. The whole post-game was catching the Ultra Beast Pokemon. It starts out, you catch one. Then the second one, you catch two. And then the third one, you catch like 20 of them. You have to catch 20 of the
Which
same Pokemon.
game is this?
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon. Oh, it's still Sun and Moon.
I think they improved the post game in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
I don't know the gens to the games.
Yeah.
Except Gen 1, which is
Kanto.
Red and blue.
Yeah, I just can't. I thought Sun and Moon had a lot of potential because they were breaking away from the original gem formula, but it ended up being eh. And it's sad because I liked the game, aside from the first island and the last cutscene.
I still need to play Sun and Moon. I will, but it's just the fact that it's a handheld device, and I never find the time to play it.
It's hard.
I should just like play it, but it's like the whole point of it being handheld
is playing it
on the go.
Honestly,
whenever I'm on the go, I'm driving, or that's why it's for kids. You know, so they can play in the car when their parents.
And that's why I like how Pokemon's coming to the Switch, because I'm tired of Pokemon being on handhelds.
But the Switch is a handheld.
I mean, it is, but like the reason like I'm more excited than anything is because I'm not going to be playing it handheld. That's stupid.
Yeah, you can play on the big screen now.
Yeah,
that's really cool actually. Yeah, play Pokemon. That's like a big thing.
There's been games in the past where you've played on the big screen.
Well,
but they've been
like
much
Coliseum and Mystery Dungeon.
Not Mystery Dungeon.
Was that on the handheld?
XD Gale and Darkness. Mystery Dungeon's handheld, yeah.
Oh, I must have seen somebody play it like on the
emulator or something, yeah.
Emulator or where you could play GameCube or Game Boy Advance games on.
Yeah.
The GameCube.
Yeah, I can emulate.
Like Coliseum.
Yeah, Coliseum.
There's Coliseum. There's Stadium 1 and 2. Stadium was just kind of like for fun.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mostly played Stadium for the mini games.
Stadium was not a full-featured game. Neither was Battle Revolution.
But it was great.
And I will admit, I do like those games.
Sparks off flying in the seeded match.
Yeah, like, that's one thing I hope they bring back in the new game, is a mode where it's like Pokemon Stadium where they have announcers. I loved that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Pick your team and the announcers come. Yeah, I played that game a lot on the 64. Just kind of like picking my team. I always get like Zapdos and then Ditto for some reason. Ditto was
honestly,
cool.
back in the day, like we all thought Ditto was the coolest Pokemon. Everybody did.
Ditto's great.
And like when you think about him now, it's like he's just a gimmick, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to actually use a Ditto.
But Ditto's cool. Ditto's like
I'd say
the only Pokemon that can breed with
anything.
Anything.
That's what
right?
you use Ditto for now, is breeding.
Yeah, breeding. Man, the IV and EV training is just crazy to me.
Yeah, I've tried it. It's just too much work.
I'm not deep into it, so.
I mean, if I was gonna...
I can train my EV to become an Umbreon.
Yeah, honestly,
or
like...
an Espeon, or a Flareon,
that's another thing I hope they introduce is new,
or a Glaceon, or a Vaporeon,
I hope they introduce...
shut up. or a no, I said Flareon. What's the fairy one?
I don't know that
Faireon.
one. Yeah, no. Faireon. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah,
what
I want them to introduce two new, at least one new, what do you call it? One new evolution. And I don't know what they'll introduce, but like a Ghost Eevee. I mean, they could do some weird stuff with that.
Jolteon.
Yeah, there we go. Leafeon. I don't know if you said that.
Leafeon. Is that one?
Yeah, that's one. Oh, it's Sylveon.
Sylveon.
That's it.
Gosh darn it.
Which is a weird name because all the other ones are... I mean, Umbreon and Espeon are weird too.
Fairy one.
Yeah.
That's all of them, right? Yeah.
That's all of them right now.
Yeah.
They should make a steel one. Steel one, yeah.
Steel, Ghost, and... Yeah, we have Dark, so Steel and Ghost and...
Poison, maybe.
Poison.
You know, I've never liked poison types.
Well, if there was just like a normal EV evolution. It's like a regular EV. But evolved, not into any...
I mean, that actually is... You know, that's another type I don't like, is normal. It's pointless.
Really? Normal... one of my favorite Pokemon is normal.
What, Slacking?
Slacking.
Okay,
Slacking's got one of the best attack stats out of all Pokemon.
Yeah, but the thing I don't like about Slacking is the way you have to use them.
The only reason I like Slacking so much is because that's the only game I played is Emerald. Well, Emerald, Mega Ruby, whatever. Yeah, he slacks off every turn. That's the only reason he has, like, the trade-off for being so common and then having one of the highest attack stats.
Yeah.
Is he slacks off every turn.
Yeah, my strategy...
Every other turn.
I always use high-speed Pokemon. High speed, high attack.
Put them on speed.
Yeah, like, I'll use, like, which one? Talonflame is badass, but I think it's banned in tournaments because it's really fast.
Really?
It's really fast.
I didn't know there were bans.
Yeah, there's like I don't know if it's like I think Smash Bros there's like tiers. And there's a certain tier called the Ubers, and you can't use those in tournaments.
Wow.
And legendaries are
this
generally
goes deep.
banned.
I didn't know Pokemon was so deep.
Well, these are all fan tournaments though. I don't know how the rules work for official. I mean,
do they
Nintendo
have
has
pots and stuff? Like, there's entry fees?
Yeah, usually. I mean, people.
Like, people like get together, or they play online?
I mean, it's usually people get together, but they also they have official Nintendo ones now.
That's cool.
They follow the same rules as all the other.
That's
ones
where the
do.
EV and IV trainings come in play.
You know what the funny thing is I think they don't even you don't use Pokemon you train yourself. You use Pokemon with the max stats. Like you use special like Pokemon Coliseum style. Which is I find that really stupid.
It's I can see the argument for it.
But
it's like
it takes out the whole training.
It takes out the whole like aspect of, but then again, like, yeah, it's a tournament.
Yeah, you gotta.
So you gotta make it fair. But like, I mean, that's the whole thing is like train your own Pokemon. It's like building your own deck.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
Because I mean, you could get to choose your team from like any Pokemon. You don't even have to catch it.
It's more about like knowing the type matchups and how. Like
you want
how to use
ideally
moves
you want to build a team that you don't have many disadvantages.
Well, like
on.
What about moves then? Do you get to pick what
I
moves
think
they learn?
As long as the Pokemon can learn the move, you can pick it.
I want my Blaziken to learn Hydro Pump.
Yes.
So that he can beat everybody. He's just like in constant pain.
I just watched about like 45 minutes into this.
Good. Speaking of 45 minutes, how about that DC Universe?
I don't know what that transition is, but...
Aquaman?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Nah.
Well, you're a bad co-host.
I haven't watched any DC movies or Marvel movies in like years.
Captain Marvel is out?
Maybe.
Coming out? Soon?
I've heard nothing about it.
I think it's out this week.
No, not seeing it.
I definitely want to see it. But actually, speaking of Captain Marvel, there was some news brought to light to me about some statements made by, and I'm forgetting the actress's name, but how she tweeted, I think, that she wanted to see less. It was either less male or less white male audience members in her movie.
Well, I'm okay with that because I wasn't planning on seeing the movie anyways.
I don't really get it. It's like, is it because like girl power? I mean, I get it. She's a superhero girl. That's great and all, but
yeah.
Why do you have to like?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of stupid.
Why do you have to not want guys to come?
You see, I don't like any idea that segregates people.
Yeah.
I think we're all like one universal race.
Okay.
Maybe
I mean, it's important to embrace different cultures.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be like putting yourself against other cultures or subcultures.
Yeah.
It's just creating unnecessary divisions.
I'll probably still see it, despite the fact, just because I like Marvel a lot.
DC.
Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Well, speaking of Captain Marvel, you could get that confused because Captain Marvel used to be DC. Which is confusing. Captain Marvel used to be... Shazam used to be Captain Marvel, if you didn't know.
I don't know much about the DC universe other than Teen Titans.
Shazam...
Teen Titans,
of course, obviously, I'm sure it's because of copyright, and Marvel's like, you can't have Captain Marvel, we're Marvel. So they took Captain Marvel and made Shazam. Basically the Superman of the Marvel universe. But Shazam's really cool. I didn't follow the release date of the Shazam movie, which I want to see, but I think it'll do really good. I really want the DC universe to do well, but like
I haven't seen one I liked since the Dark Knight trilogy. It's
not well. I'm talking about like the DCCU right now.
Oh yeah.
Like how the Marvel MCU is like a whole thing. Like the Dark Knight trilogy was great. It was great. Christian Bale was a great Batman. Well, I'd say he's a better Batman than a Bruce Wayne. Yeah, and I'd say Ben Affleck is a better Bruce Wayne than a Batman.
Yeah.
But the Christian Bale movies are not in the DCCU.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Wonder Woman was a good movie.
Yeah.
But I had a few problems with it. But Aquaman, however, Aquaman blew me away.
Really?
It blew me out of the water.
I fucking hate
But it did, though. It was really good. Some of the scripting was cheesy and whatever.
I mean, that's
but,
the time of a superhero.
Yeah, but, like, it was just really well done. And I think people need to give it more of a chance because I think they're learning from their mistakes. And that I'm really looking forward to it. Just to see what will come in the future. But what I really want is a Cyborg movie. Cyborg's one of my favorite characters from the DC.
The thing is, like,
universe.
I don't like any iteration of Cyborg that isn't Teen Titans. Teen Titans
Cyborg is great, but
I mean, if they made a movie about not Teen Titans Go, there is no Teen Titans Cyborg. I would watch it. I would watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. His origins and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. But that's kind of like
a Teen Titans movie, okay?
Huh?
Just make a new Teen Titans movie.
Yeah.
Not Teen Titans Go the movie.
No. There's a live action Teen Titans movie.
Oh, that one
It looks like trash.
Yeah.
Also, Cyborg's not in it.
Yeah.
Because it's like
you can't remove the Cyborg.
I guess it's like during the time when Cyborg's in the Justice League.
Yeah.
But it's like when the Teen Titans are forming.
Robin is way too edgy.
Well, because the thing is, we're accustomed to the TV show.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually the comics.
Yeah,
it's kind of an iteration thereof. Like the original Teen Titans was, I think, a Kid Flash. What?
Yeah, it is a different set, but
yeah, it's a different set of superheroes. I think it's Kid Flash, Aqualad. I think Beast Boy was involved, and I want to say Raven and maybe somebody else, but I'm not too entirely sure. But
I know Starfire is one for sure.
I think. But I mean, obviously, characters came and went.
Yeah.
And different leaders came in, and different characters came in. But Cyborg was, eventually part of the Justice League. So, and in the DCCU, he's part of the Justice League now. But speaking of Shazam, like, where is everybody? Like, the Justice League's forming, and there's no Martian Manhunter, there's no Green Arrow, there's no.
I thought Green Arrow had a movie.
He's a TV show on Netflix.
Oh yeah, but he had a movie. I'm thinking someone else.
Green Hornet.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern had one.
We don't talk about that movie.
Yeah, where's Green Lantern? Where's Green Lantern? Where's the Green Arrow? Where's Martian Manhunter? Where's Shazam? There's no one. It's just. I mean, there's enough. But what I was gonna say though is, Shazam. It's pretty interesting dude. I mean, I don't know if you know.
I know nothing about him.
Nothing about him. Well, the real Shazam is a wizard, and he, I guess he was like dying or something, and he bestowed.
I've seen a picture of the guy from the movie.
Yeah. He bestowed his powers onto a kid who thought would be worthy to, grow into his powers and whatnot. Yeah. And he just says Shazam, and he gets struck by lightning, and he turns into a superhero. But the cool thing about his name is that it's an acronym.
Yeah.
For, the representation of his powers.
Yeah.
And it's S stands for Solomon. He's the wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah. H
is the strength of Hercules.
Yeah.
A is the there's two A's and either or is Atlas. I think the first one's Atlas. The endurance of Atlas, the guy who holds up the earth.
Yeah. Z is probably Zeus.
Z is the power of Zeus that ties all of the people together. And then the other A is the invulnerability of Achilles. I guess without the
heel.
without the heel. And M is actually M is Mercury. So it goes from Greek gods to Roman gods for some reason. Because I guess there's no flying M god in Greek. So it's Mercury, the flight and speed of Mercury, or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's how it goes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I can fact check that, but I thought it was really interesting about Shazam. But I really want the DCCU to be good. I love the DC universe. If it weren't for Deadpool, I think I would say that I prefer the DC universe over Marvel.
Yeah,
but I just can't really choose. Deadpool did just too well.
Yeah.
And not even the movie. I was a fan before the
I think we
movies
both
came
were.
out.
We were like,
Yeah, no,
hyped
yeah, we
about
were.
that movie.
We totally were. I mean, I was a fan of Deadpool, a huge fan of Deadpool. I like. I really want to say I jumped on the bandwagon before the bandwagon became a bandwagon.
No, I jumped on after.
But would you say I did? I mean, I definitely noticed that like everybody started talking about Deadpool once I like started liking him. But it's like that thing, you know. It it becomes a trend, and you just before everybody starts noticing it as a trend is when you join the trend.
Yeah.
So that you notice a trend after you've joined, you're like, I joined it before it was cool. It's like, well, technically, the reason you made it a big bandwagon thing. So I didn't like him from the beginning. Obviously, I wasn't born in. Wait, no, he didn't come out in the 30s. I was gonna say 30s. That's Superman.
I think it's the 80s.
He was. I think he was like actually 90s. I think he was 90. I should know this. I think it was like 97 or 90. He was definitely 90s. His first comic was the New Mutants comic with Domino and I think Cable.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know if Cable was in it. I think he was. It was like New Mutants. There was like three New Mutants or three mutant like recruits.
Yeah, he originally was a villain though.
Yeah, he was sent as a mercenary to like kill I think Domino or something like that, and she incapacitated him and shipped him back in a box to his employer, and then people liked him so much that he got his own thing.
I like him more as a anti-hero.
But I forget what year it came out.
That's the only complaint I had about the second movie. She was too much a hero. But like I kind of like it because they made it work.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds really makes the whole Deadpool thing work.
Honestly, he was born to play Deadpool. And on that note, I think we should end it because we're at 57 minutes.
Well, why not make it an hour?
Okay, if you're a viewer, did you actually make it this far? Like, leave a if this was posted
Again,
to YouTube.
hello,
leave a
future
comment,
self.
please.
Thanks for making it this far to the podcast. You can reward yourself to a cookie.
Yeah, what he said. Well, okay, viewers. Listeners. Oh, you know what I mean. Good night and have a good night.
Hello, listener.
Okay, what's been done with the corny outros? Bye, everybody.